I attended Merrill from 1963 through May of 1967 and graduated fifth in my class with honors out of 127 certified graduates. Mr. Jordan, M.D. Jordan, we used to call him the warden. Mr. Jordan kept you on track. He mentored a lot of students. He made sure that they were in class for sure if he caught them outside of the classroom. He knew, it's almost like he knew everybody's schedule. He would come in the hall sometime and he would say, if you see anybody, he'd say, you know you're supposed to be in Miss So-and-so class, or Mr. So-and-so's class. You moved when you saw him. I mean, he was very respected by all of the students at Merrill. My father, Andrew Thomas, who was a World War II veteran, attended Merrill prior to 1943 when he was drafted. My mother attended Merrill probably 1948, 49, 47, somewhere in there. She couldn't remember. She's still living, and she's 90, she'll be 96 in October. While my father was attending Merrill, Mr. Townsend was the principal, and with my mother, it was Reverend C.N. Cheney. This is my father. World War II Army Air Corps veteran. And this is my mother, Ida Strickland Thomas. Other people who attended Merrill and our family it was a tradition. We have Owens, Thomas, and Strickland family members who also attended Merrill prior to some of them went to Missouri Street School and later came to Merrill because the school had burned back then. But it was always a tradition, which like me, when I left St. Peter's to go into the ninth grade, I didn't want to go anywhere else but to Merrill to keep it in the family tradition. Oh, my life has always been full of extra activities. I was in the current events club, the library club, the Cercle Francais, the M.D. Jordan Debate Club, Merrill Concert Band, the choir, Mu Alpha Theta Math Club, National Honor Society, the Thespian Society, Tripod Photo Club, and also financial secretary for our class in 1967. I would like to give a special recognition for the teachers who were my role models, Mrs. Marjorie Clark, Miss Wadley, and Miss Holliday. There were other teachers and alumni from Merrill who also held role model admiration. Gladys Meekins, Doris Edwards, Evelyn Burkett, Regina Griffin, who was my classmate, Marjorie Kirby, and Phyllis Walker. Upon reviewing the Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated Alumni Directory, 1989, I was proud to discover the roster of Alpha Chi Sigma held some of their names: Miss Meekins, Miss Edwards, Miss Burkett, Regina Griffin, Miss Kirby, and Miss Walker, who was a librarian. My favorite classes: World History, taught by Harold Sheffield, Mathematics, Miss Kirby, Science and Biology, Miss Burkett and Miss Wadley, Chemistry and Physics, Mr. Bankston, French, Mrs. Clark. My favorite class list provided learning opportunities which opened doors for a long career in telecommunications and travel experiences throughout the world. Each class provided skills and learning experience to help prepare me for adulthood and my career. I was employed by Southwestern Bell Telephone Company in 1971 after attending, and while attending partially, A&M College, which is now the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. My career led me to Little Rock, later to Kansas City, Missouri, with technical managerial roles at AT&T, Lucent Technology, and Alcatel-Lucent. I was also employed, I had to go to Canada and stay up there and transition some work from Atlanta to Canada. And that was a great opportunity as well. I continued my education, receiving a Bachelor in Human Resources cum laude in 1990 from St. Leo College, which is now St. Leo University in Florida. 1994 was the year of reaching an educational goal. I received a master's degree in public administration with academic honors from Clark Atlanta University. I have spent my life volunteering, serving the community, serving mankind, Coretta Scott King Center at the King Center in Atlanta, and so many, many, many other organizations, all focusing on education and knowledge. Currently, I'm employed at Nokia US, where I enjoy the daily responsibilities in the new era of telecommunications and AI. As an entrepreneur, I am the co-owner of RJ's Sports Grill and Bar in the historical downtown Pine Bluff. RJ serves Southern food and has been deemed as the crown jewel of the Delta, hosting Delta Blues weekly on Wednesdays and monthly on the first Saturdays. My motto, keep learning and keep exploring. You know, in biology, we had experiments, we had projects. In fact, one of mine, it was the effect of quinine on the embryo rat. Mine was chosen, and we went to Monticello, came in third place with that. There was also math projects. So all of that plays a part in your life. You've got to know who you are. You got to know how your body operates in order to maintain and try to take care of yourself as an individual. We had a group called the Sister Six, and Sandra Johnson, Beulah Edwards, Sharon Bullard, myself, Janice Jones, Linda Scott, and Naomi Clay. We were very good friends for a long period of time. And out of that group, Sandra Johnson, she lives in Austin, Texas, and I'm here in Pine Bluff. Naomi's in Chicago. We've lost contact with her. It was just a great experience because the parents, they nurtured you as well. So if you want to have other family type role models, then you look at the single parent, you know, raising their children, and they excelled. But then there was a strong commitment, you know, from those parents to make sure that we all stayed on track. Some kids today, they hate going to school. I have always been excited about going to school. When I was at St. Peter's, I didn't miss a day unless I was sick, and I would try to go then. Coming to Merrill was the same way. Every day was exciting. You were learning something different. Our teachers cared about us as students. They tried to put information in front of us to make us use our minds to think outside the box, not stay in the box, which is what I try to instill into my children and my grandchildren. Don't stay in a box because somebody's put you there. Always look at what's outside the box. Always explore, question, because sometimes you may get information that's not true, that you think is true. Investigate. Find out if that information is true, and then make your own decision about whether you should do this or do that or follow something. At least you'll have the truth. It'll be your truth that you found out yourself rather than believe what everybody else tells you. Very little education was taught about relationships. Mr. Bankston would tell you the pros and cons of everything in his class in chemistry and physics. If you asked the question, he would tell you because he knew nobody else would. But that's part of the great experience that we had. Mr. Jordan's son, Ronald, was in our class. He was our class president. So there's Ronald. And Mr. Jordan was always writing. And we were always being exposed to things that I don't think some kids were. One of the citations that Mr. Jordan made in our yearbook was the poem If by Rudyard Kipling, which has also stuck with me all these years. There's also a writing that he has in here about 3 men building a cathedral. It's very inspiring. 3 men, all engaged at the same employment, were asked what they were doing. One said he was making $5 a day. Another replied he was cutting stone. A third replied, I'm building the cathedral. The difference was not in what they were actually doing, although the spirit of the third might quite possibly have made him the more expert at the task. They were all earning the same wages. They were all cutting stone, but only one held it in his mind that he was helping build a great edifice. Life meant more to him than to his mates because he saw further and more clearly. And that's sort of what I look at as being outside the box. The farmer may only be planting seed, but if he opens his eyes, he's feeding the world. The railroad man, the factory worker, the clerk in the store, likewise are building their cathedrals. The investors in stocks and bonds and executives of great corporations and educators, all are building cathedrals likewise. Seniors, as you move about your work from day to day, what do you see in yourself? Are you building cathedrals? Do you see yourself as a servant of mankind? One who is to make this world a better place to live. Do not just cut stones or make $5 a day or hour. As you graduated from Merrill, whatever road you take, wherever you go, whether on the immediate job or on to college, see to it that you build a cathedral. Be afraid to die until you have done something that will live forever. M.D. Jordan Principle.